everyone, my name is Chloe, and today I'm here to do kind of a low-key all-summer TBR that was inspired by a few different things. So I am currently reading Other People's Summers by Sarah Morgan, and I am really enjoying this book. It's giving me all the summery lake vibes, and I just love that. I am not somebody who insists on reading seasonally. However, it really does just hit nice when you're in summer, especially here at the beginning. When you're in the summer, you're going to the pool, you're doing all the summery summer things, and to read books that kind of fit that, I really enjoy it. And so I decided to go, well, and the other thing that kind of inspired this video is that my June book haul revisit, my May book haul revisit was massive. It took up almost the majority, definitely the majority, if not almost all of my May reading. And June is not that way. And so I've got some more freedom in reading. And so I decided to go to my shelves and see how many books had the word summer in the title. And I'm going to just put all of those here on my desk, and I'll just keep kind of going through those. And I thought, I'll do summer and then maybe beach or something like that. And because I'm also just really in the mood for like lighthearted kind of women's fiction beach reads. And so I thought I'll do that. Well, I did not need to do that because summer alone, I had 17 unread books on my shelf that have summer in the title. And so 3 of those I'm not going to be including because they are part of series and I don't want to jump in the middle of a series. So today I'm going to show you 14 books that are on my shelves that have the word summer in the title. And I'm going to leave them, like I said, here on my desk. And it's kind of going to be an additional summer TBR. When I don't have something up next, I'm going to just pick from one of these books and we're going to read through as many as we can in the next couple of months. So, or until I get burnt out, one way or the other. So let's just get started. One is One Summer by David Baldacci. So David Baldacci writes either mysteries or like romances. And this one says, let's see, the blurb on the back is about David Baldacci himself. So this says, it's almost Christmas. What? But there's no joy in the house of terminally ill Jack and his family. With only a short time left to live, he spends his last day preparing to say goodbye to his devoted wife, Lizzie, and their 3 children. Then, unthinkably, tragedy strikes again. Lizzie is killed in a car accident. With no one able to care for them, the children are separated from one another and sent to live with family and family members around the country. Just when all seems lost, Jack begins to recover in a miraculous turn of events. He rises from what should have been his deathbed, determined to bring his fractured family back together. Struggling to rebuild their lives after Lizzie's death, he reunites everyone at Lizzie's childhood home on the ocean front in South Carolina. And there, over one unforgettable summer, Jack begins to learn to love again, and he and his children learn how to become a family once more. Light beach read, right? So I guess this will break it up if I'm tired of the beach reads. Then we have Summer's Child by Luann Rice. So this one is, on the first day of summer, Mara James went out to water her garden and was never seen again. Years after her disappearance, no one could forget the expectant mother whose glowing smile had captured the hearts of everyone who had known her. Maeve Jameson is still mourning the loss of a granddaughter she had struggled to protect. Patrick Murphy, a dogged police detective obsessed with a vanished woman, and Lily Malone, drawn to the rugged beauty of Nova Scotia coast and its promise of a new life. Here, Lily hopes to raise her 9-year-old daughter, Rose, far from the pain and loss of the past. Here, she will meet a gifted scientist, Liam Neal, whose life is on a similar trajectory from heartbreak to hope. And before the season's over, Lily will find the magic that exists in people we love the best, the everyday miracles that can make the extraordinary happen anywhere. So this sounds really nice. And yeah, again, not light and beachy, but a good way to break things up. Then I have 2 here by Holly Chamberlain, and she gets the worst ratings on Goodreads. I've only read 1 or 2, and I really enjoyed them. And these are a part of like main something series. But I don't think you need. I read like number 3 in the series and did not feel lost at all. So I'm going to hope that these are that way. So this is Home for the Summer. This says The Journey to Yorktide, Maine. I think Yorktide, Maine. So I think it's the town or something like. Anyways, it was always a happy one for Frida and Erin Braithwaite and their 2 daughters. Frida loves her mother's old farmhouse, and the girls have grown closer there, sharing a bedroom and spinning stories into the night. But that was before, when tragedy was something that happened to other families. Since the car crash that claimed lives of her husband, their younger daughter, Frida, and their younger daughter, this sounds like something that's heavy. Frida has struggled emotionally and financially. Bella, now 17, is withdrawn and wary, and Frida has fears of losing her too. And at her mother's urging, Frida decides to return to Yorktide with Bella for the summer. Bella gets a job in a local shop and little by little edges her way back into the world. But it's unexpected connections they make with a former schoolmate, a troubled teenage girl, and Frida's estranged father that will spur them to find healing amidst bittersweet memories and discover if their bond is strong enough to guide them back to hope once more. So hopefully this is sweet. We'll see. The other Holly Chamberlain is the Summer Nanny. So every June, the quiet beach town of Ogonquit is overtaken by wealthy families who hire young local women like Amy Latimer and Haley Frankley to care for their children. Best friends since childhood, Amy and Haley are eager to secure lucrative summer jobs. Amy wants to finance her upcoming move to Boston. Haley hopes to squirrel away enough so her mom can finally leave her abusive husband. Amy is immediately enthralled to her dynamic boss. I don't know what that means. Cressida, so different from Amy's mother, Lita. Though skilled at creating tapestries and rugs, Lita lacks confidence. But one thing she does know after a painful summer long ago as a nanny herself. Why am I struggling to read this? It's now how damaging and a manipulative boss can be. Haley's employers are loving parents to their 2-year-old twins. John also has a grown son by a previous marriage. Ethan is kind, handsome, and not least wealthy. For the first time, Haley, usually so selfless, can't help seeing him as an opportunity. Complications, revelations, altering friendships, etc. So this one I'm confused just reading the synopsis, but it's very short chapters, so hopefully good. Then we have All Summer Long by Dorothea Benton Frank. So I'd go anywhere with you. Interior designer Olivia meant every word she said to her husband, Nicholas, when they married. That was 14 years ago, and now retired from university teaching, Nick is ecstatic to be returning to his boyhood home of Charleston, South Carolina. Olivia tries to share his enthusiasm, but for a fourth-generation New Yorker, giving up Manhattan life and moving to the Low Country is a daunting prospect. She's heartsick at leaving behind the city's bustle and vibrancy, not to mention losing some of her wealthy New York clients. Nick also has no idea how precarious their finances have become thanks to a run of her projects that fell through. Olivia can't bring herself to tell him the truth, especially when the house they purchased on Sullivan's Island needs extensive and expensive work. But in between settling in and adjusting to Southern life, there are some dazzling diversions. Olivia's billing their clients Maritza and Bob invite her and Nick to join their quirky assortment of friends on trips that take them from the exclusive paradise of Necker Island to beautiful Nantucket to sultry Spain. Olivia's perspective changes and expands as she sees what money can buy and what it can't. And over the course of one eventful summer, Olivia begins to open her mind to Sullivan's Island's undeniable magic and to the surprising ways that a place can suddenly claim her heart. Against a number of stunning backdrops, but rooted in the distinct charm of her beloved Low Country, Dorothea Benton Frank explores the nature of love, marriage, and belonging in a novel that is funny, thought-provoking, and irresistibly uplifting. If you can hear my kids are being obnoxiously loud in the background, I apologize. Hopefully you can't hear that very well. But then we have Mary Alice Monroe. She is kind of a classic summer author. This says, late August is a beautiful time on the southern coast. The peach trees are ripe, the ocean is warm, and the sweet tea is ice cold. But beneath the calm surface bubbles a threat. It's also peak hurricane season. Kara Rutledge and her boyfriend David Wyatt rush back to the Isle of Palms to prepare the beach house when a hurricane threatens the coast of Florida and South Carolina, while an eclectic group of evacuees flees for the farm of their friends, Grace and Charles Phillips, in North Carolina. The Phillips' daughter, Moira, and her rescue dogs, famed equestrian Javier Angel de la Cruz, makeup artist Hannah McLean, and the horse breeder Gerda Klug, and her daughter Elise, strangers to all but the Phillipses, must ride out the storm together. So, there's that. Then This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. So I didn't love the only Carly Fortune I've read, but this summer they'll keep their promise. This summer they won't give in to temptation. This summer will be different. So it's about Lucy. She's a tourist vacationing at a beach house on Prince Edward Island. Felix is the local who shows her a very good time. The only problem, Lucy doesn't know he's her best friend's younger brother. How do you not know that? But Lucy and Felix's chemistry is unreal, but the list of reasons they need to stay away from each other is long. And they vow to never repeat that electric night. Easier said than done. So, yeah, I think I'll stop there. But there's that. Then we have The Summer List by Amy Mason Doan. This has deckled edges, and I am not a fan of deckled edges, but this says, Laura and Casey were once inseparable. Coming of age in Lakeside Hamlet in California, Laura felt connected to her best friend in every way as they floated on their backs in the sunlit lake, as they dreamed about the future under starry skies, and as they teamed up for the popular scavenger hunts organized by Casey's mother, who happened to be everything Laura's mother was not. Passionate, artistic, unbound by rules, Laura found herself utterly drawn into their orbit until one summer night when a shocking betrayal sent her running through the pines, down the dock, and into a new life, leaving Casey and her first love in her wake. But the past is impossible to escape, and now after 17 years away, Laura is pulled home into a reunion with Casey she can't resist. One last scavenger hunt, with a twist. This time, the list of clues leads to the settings of their most cherished summer memories. So, that'll be sweet. Then this one I just hauled, Summer of Songbirds. It's about a group of people going back to their summer camp to try to save it. It's going to be destroyed for some reason, so they go back to try to save it. Okay, then we've got One Perfect Summer by Britta Novak. So Serenity Alston swabbed her cheek for 23andMe, and she joked about uncovering some dark ancestral scandal. The last thing she expected was to discover 2 half-sisters she didn't know existed. Suddenly, everything about her loving family is drawn into question, and meeting these newfound sisters might be the only way to get answers. The women decide to dig into the mystery together at Serenity's family cabin in Lake Tahoe, with Reagan navigating romantic politics at work and Lorelai staring down the collapse of her marriage. All 3 women are converging at a crossroad in their life. Before the summer's over, they have to confront the past and determine how to move forward when everything they previously thought to be true was a lie. But any future is easier to face with family by your side. This is like the kind of thing I was thinking. Then we have Girls of Summer by Nancy Thayer. So, one life-changing summer on Nantucket brings about exhilarating revelations for a single mom and her 2 grown children. Lisa is perfectly satisfied living on her own. Having fully recovered from a brutal divorce nearly 2 decades earlier, she has successfully raised her kids and sent them off to college. As the owner of a popular boutique on Nantucket, she's built a fulfilling life for herself on the island where she grew up. With her beloved house in desperate need of repair, Lisa calls on Mac Whitney, a friendly and very handsome local contractor and fellow single parent, to do the work. The 2 begin to grow close, and Lisa is stunned to realize that she might be willing to open up again after all, despite the fact that Mac is 10 years her junior. Her kids worry that Mac will only break their mother's heart, and they can't bear to see her hurt. Both are stuck in ruts of their own. They can each hope that a summer on Nantucket will provide them with the clarity they've been searching for. With a handsome entrepreneur, Ryder Hastings moves to the island to expand his environmental nonprofit. Juliet, an MIT-educated web designer, feels an immediate attraction. And then Theo, he finds his California bliss, comes to a brutal halt when a surfing injury forces him back to the East Coast. He has eyes on Mac's daughter, etc. So we'll see. Then 3 more. We've got The Forever Summer by Jamie Brenner. So this is an emotional roller coaster ride that will have you addicted and wanting to read more. So that is from Redbook. But this is Marin Bishop has always played by the rules, and it's paid off. On the cusp of 30, she has a handsome fiancé, a prestigious Manhattan law career, and the hard-won admiration of her father. But one moment of weakness leaves Marin unemployed and all alone, all in a single day. Then a woman claiming to be Marin's half-sister shows up, and it's all Marin can do not to break down completely. Seeking escape, Marin agrees to a road trip to meet the grandmother she never knew she had. As the summer unfolds at her grandmother's quaint beachside B&B, it becomes clear that the discovery of her half-sister is just the beginning of a series of revelations that will change her life completely. Sounds great. Then we have Patty Callahan Henry, Driftwood Summer. This one I know is one that I'm going to have to read physically, so we'll see if I get to it. But this says, in the small seaside town of Palmetto Beach, the Sheffield sisters, responsible Riley, vivacious Maisie, and fun-loving Adelie, reunite to celebrate their mother's birthday and try to save the family bookstore. How sweet. Which has long been a beloved gathering place in their tight-knit community. But June also marks the return of Mac Logan. We have 2 male characters named Mac, who 13 years ago was Riley's best friend and Maisie's teenage crush. His choice of Maisie over Riley during that pivotal summer destroyed the special closeness between the sisters and sent their life in different directions. Now Riley's a single mom who doubts any man will ever live up to the ideal Mac Logan. She must work with her sister while hiding a shattering secret about their mother. Maisie, a California designer, still blames Riley for ruining her one true love, and Adelie, a college co-ed, resents the family's intrusion into her summer plans. When Mac arrives, all 3 sisters are forced to confront their long-held beliefs about the conflict that tore them apart and the bonds of loyalty that still draw them together. Will they allow their past to define their future? And then last is Summer of 69 by Ellen Hildebrand. I know this is fiction. It's not autobiographical, but she said there is, like, I think elements of this is welcome to the most tumultuous summer of the 20th century. It's 1969, and for the Levin family, the times there are changing. Every year, the children have looked forward to spending the summer at their grandma's historical home in downtown Nantucket. But like so much else in America, nothing is the same. Blair, the eldest sister, is marooned in Boston, pregnant with twins and unable to travel. Middle sister Kirby, caught up in the thrilling vortex of civil rights protests, and determined to be independent, takes a summer job on Martha's Vineyard. Beloved son Tiger is an infantry soldier, recently deployed to Vietnam. 13-year-old Jessie suddenly feels like an only child, trapped in the house with her out-of-touch grandmother and her worried mother, each of them hiding a troubled secret. As the summer heats up, Ted Kennedy sinks a car off Chappaquiddick. Man lands on the moon, and Jessie and her family experience their own dramatic upheavals along with the rest of the country. So this is her first historical novel, and we'll see. So is this got characters from the Winter Street series? I feel like there was a character named Tiger in that. But anyway, so those are all the summer books on my shelf. And this will be my low-key summer TBR. So I will stick these here on my desk, and we'll just see as the summer goes on which of them I can get to and which of them hang tight for next summer. Or, like I said, I'm not a huge seasonal reader. I love reading a summery book in the middle of winter or reading a Christmas book like in July. I love that, but I couldn't do a lot of those. And I think I can do a lot of summer reads in summer. So we'll see. We'll see what I get to. So let me know, do you guys have books that have summer in the title on your shelves? If so, what are they? This, I feel like, was really good at a variety of themes and tones, and a lot different than I was actually expecting when I did that. So I think it'll be doable. So let me know all the things. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.